Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. So we're seeing catastrophic from some sources of silver price action. Backwardization, basically, the spot price is higher than the COMEX price. So the commercial exchange for silver has a one price, and sometimes more than $2 more is what the spot price is. So some people are saying they've been in the market, the silver industry, for over 40 years, 20, 40 years, some people. And they're saying that they've never, ever seen anything like this as far as this price action. So very, very interesting times. Now, we've talked about, how silver is one of the best investments that you could be in. Now, it seems like, as things start to unravel in the economy, we're going to start to see more and more people going into silver and gold. It's getting really, really crazy out there. And as things get crazier and crazier, more people want the solidity and comfort of precious metals, which are up massively today. Probably one of the biggest upswings in silver, maybe in history. So it's finally here, yeah, but we're just seeing the beginnings of it as far as like the price action. So I'm gonna share the screen and we're gonna look at several things that are going on right now. I got a very urgent message last night from Dr. Kirk Elliott, and he was with the Precious Metals Depository owner. And the price action they're talking about here is like, it's unbelievable, they say, and it's going to go probably much higher. We could see, and some people that I'm looking at are saying that we're going to see $60, $65 very quickly. So, I mean, just last Friday when the stock market was crashing, and it's up today, of course, but when it was crashing, we had silver around 47. Today, we're having silver. It looks like, I think if it closes today at the levels that it's at, it'll be an all-time high, closing at an all-time high. But it's still not matching the spot price. So the spot price, like I said, is a couple dollars even higher. And if you go around the world, they're selling silver at 56 and more an ounce, buying it. Right. So people are like lined up around the blocks around the world. And looks like, and one of the reasons why I want to come on here is because it looks like Americans aren't really aware of this yet, this price action. And we know the reasons behind that, because they're trying to suppress the prices here in America and the world. Now, the dollar is up slightly, but I think that is in result of people looking for safety. It's definitely not in the dollar, right? So the dollar, whether it goes up or not, remains to be seen. But usually when the dollar is up, silver and gold go down. Gold is up like $126 today. Silver is up like I think 3 something. So like I said, let me pull up a couple of things so you guys can see what the price action looks like right now. It is it's pretty crazy. I've never seen anything like this. So you're seeing a spot price right there for silver on KEPM.com, Kirk Elliott Precious Metals site, at 51.97. I've seen it as high as 52.20, I believe. So it's gyrating quite a bit. So that's there it goes. It's 52. So as you guys can see, it's very volatile. It's 52 right now. Now let's look at Market Watch. I didn't share the screen. Let me share the screen on that. Oh, you're seeing it. Good. All right. So let me share the screen. So remember that price, 52.06. Market Watch has it at, I think, just 50 something. Let's see. So it's at 50.45 right now on Market Watch. So as you guys can see, the Dow is almost has all that it lost, and the Nasdaq the same. not quite all that it lost on Friday. So gold up $126, 3.16%, and silver up 3.2 at 6.78%. Now for the year, silver is up quite substantially. Let's go back, see if we get the price action. So I think the high today is 50.59. That is the high today, 50.59. So that's pretty sure that's all-time high. So year to date, we're looking at 71.554%. So almost doubled silver in the last year. At this action, it should be up another, like you're seeing, because spot price right now, as I'm looking at it, is 52.12. So that's almost another $2 higher. Right. So another, almost 5%. So that puts a year to date, if it goes to that, 76%. And it's going to go a lot higher. All right. So we're just getting started here with silver. Like we've talked about, at some point when the controls come off the silver, it will really skyrocket. And that's what we're seeing. Now I'll play a little bit of a clip where Dr. Kirk Elliott was talking to the precious metals, Texas precious metals guy, and he had some very interesting things because he's been in the business for a long time. Of course, these guys are 20, 40 years in the business. They know the business well, and this is what Tarek Saab said, the CEO of Texas Precious Metals, that we use for when you buy from Dr. Kirk Elliott and you put it in a depository. This is the guy we use.
To echo some of the things that you said, I think the important thing here is transparency and just sharing with people what's going on. I've been doing this almost 20 years. Many of our partners in the industry have been doing this 40, 45 years, and they have never seen anything like what has happened in the last 48 hours.
They have never seen anything like this. It's catastrophic. So they've never seen anything like this. Now, Dr. Kirk Elliott has been in the business 20 years. Dr. Tarek Saab has been in the business for, or Tarek Saab has been in the business for 20 years. And Mr. Saab is working with people that have been in the business up to 45 years. So all the way back to the Hunt brothers back in the 80s. So we're looking at when there was a massive control of the silver market by the Hunt brothers. People haven't even seen anything that's worse until now. This is the worst thing that's ever happened.
We're referring to it as a black swan event. There are going to be massive reverberations, and so I think it's important, and I'm going to try to do the best I can. I don't want to weigh down with all the technicals of what's going on in the market, but just structurally for people to understand how the silver market works. And I want to preface what I'm about to say by reiterating that silver is a very small market, and a lot of the fundamental tailwinds that you have been talking about over the years are now becoming even more profoundly felt, particularly with things like AI and the demand on the industrial side, with a lot of the geopolitical changes that have happened with tariffs, which we'll talk about. There's been a heavy amount of demand in silver, and the reality is there's just not a lot of above ground silver to begin with. So the way that the market...
So for the last 3 years, the amount of silver that's been in demand has not been met by the miners. So the miners have actually been producing less over the last 3 years, maybe even longer at this point, of the demand for silver. Because we have silver is in everything now. It's in military missiles, it's in submarines, it's in rockets, it's in satellites, it's in medical instruments and so forth. It's in, of course, like you say, in AI, computer chips, all these different things and more, much more. Just take, for instance, a Tomahawk missile. When it's fired and it blows up, it's basically dissipating 5 200 ounces of silver. It's gone. So there's not enough silver above ground to meet the demand. So at some point, we may see silver unobtainium, all right? So not obtainable. So this is what he actually talks about this later. He talks about how everything goes through London, and London is actually having plane loads flown into London right now because they can't meet the demand. Now, imagine normally this silver goes to London in massive ships because silver is not light, right? You get thousands and thousands, hundreds, tons of ounces of silver, and plane loads can't handle that much, right? So they're trying to ship it in so it meets the outward demand. So we've talked about this, how the shorting market, the banks and so forth have been shorting silver on paper at a 30-to-1 ratio. So you have 1 ounce, you have like 1 ounce of silver, and you have 30 different shorting contracts that are saying, we got the silver, don't worry about it, and this is the price we're going to give you. All right. So those are coming due very rapidly. And because the demand is so high, like I showed you, the actual spot price, very, very rare, probably not been seen since the Hunt brothers. The spot price is actually higher than the COMEX price, as I showed you guys. So the COMEX price is around, at the high today, is at 50.59. The spot price, what people are like, I'll buy silver from you, or I'll sell silver to you, but it's going to be at this price, not at that price, right? So this is where the disconnect is. And so that's why you see silver up so massively today, trying to catch up to that spot price. So the spot price, I believe, is going to continue to go higher, a lot higher. And especially, I would say maybe even tomorrow when the banks open, because today is a holiday here in the United States. And when the banks open tomorrow, there's going to be hell to pay, right? So we may see silver really rocket even higher again tomorrow. We may see a 10% increase in silver to catch up with, the prices that are going on out there.
Works is you have two primary locations where silver is traded. You have London and you have New York. The London market is known as the spot market or the over-the-counter market. It is the place where silver is available for immediate delivery. The New York market is the futures market. It's where you're trading for future delivery. The way our industry works, and it doesn't matter if you are, you're a trader or you're a bank or you're a refiner or wherever you are in the supply chain, nearly all of us, and I'm talking about high up in the supply. I'm not talking about like local coin dealers. I'm talking about like the big boys. We all trade London. And so, for example, if I am going to buy, $20 million worth of silver from a refinery in Italy, the way that process works is I'm not sending a check to Italy for that metal. What's happening is that I'm delivering metal, we call it loco London, meaning the metal that's in London, I'm buying and selling to essentially, or I shouldn't say selling, delivering to that refiner's account in London. And then I'm taking physical in a swap. So it's like a clearinghouse.
All right. So the way he's explaining this is basically, if I'm in Reno, well, I'm not in Reno, I'm like close to Reno, but if I were in the past getting silver, which Reno was like the #1 place in the world for mining silver at one point. If I were going to go to Reno and I was like, okay, I want, when you guys pull it out of the ground and you smelt it, I want, so many millions of dollars of it. And they would be like, okay. So it goes to our account in London. And once it clears through there, then you can buy it at what the spot price in London is. All right. So he's talking about how he's going to Italy and getting people that are mining silver, but they still have to go through London, right? So London doesn't have any silver, right? That's why they're having flights that are going over to London at a hectic pace right now to meet the demand. How long does that happen? Are they going to catch up? No, they're not going to catch up, because the demand is way beyond what they can handle, because they've been shorting silver for so long. Now people are like, let's go. I want my stuff. And so they can't meet the demand now. So again, when these banks open tomorrow, these banks that have been shorting silver for a long time, and they're having to like ante up, it's going to be hectic. It's going to be hectic. That's what they're talking about in this show. The show's like 45 minutes, and they go into detail about all this. So what you're seeing for spot right now in London is not realistic right now either. It's not realistic. So the real price is going to continue to escalate very quickly throughout the rest of this week. So I want you guys to be aware that if you've been holding back on purchasing silver, probably would be a good time not to hold back anymore. And if you're investing like many of us do in Dr. Kirk Elliott, KEPM.com, make sure you say Jaco sent you. But a lot of you guys already have accounts there. So keep buying, keep filling up that depository with more silver, because this thing's going to really take off, guys. The thing we've been saying is coming is here. Now, I'm going to go in a little bit more detail to give you guys some insight of why this is really about to blow up, because the bubble is about to unwind. Now, is it going to happen this week for a lot of markets? It's already happening for a lot of markets, and as I'm going to show you in this report. But at some point, the stock market itself unravels, right? So I said back in 2022, it's done. And everybody's like making money on the stock market going down. And then it reversed and it went back up. And I was like, there's no way. But it did. It kept going back up, right? So they manipulated the market in 2008 and 9 when the stock market crashed back then because of a housing bubble. It was manipulated back up then. In 2000, with the dot-com crash. The dot-com crash, lasted a few years, 5 years or so, and then started going back up again. And that's what we saw with the 2008, 2009 crash, because it was like money got pumped back in the system, it pumped back up, and then it crashed again. Now we're having an everything bubble, which are bursting, all these different bubbles that have been pumped up. It's gonna happen on a level that's unbelievable. And if you're not in precious metals, because unfortunately, only one, maybe if we're lucky, but I don't think so, 2% of the population here in the United States and probably the world as well have silver, right? And if you don't have silver, when this thing unwinds and crashes like we've never, ever seen before, then you're going to be screwed. You're going to be left hanging. But if you're in silver, you'll not only survive, but thrive on a level that is beyond your imagination, right? So we've been talking about this. Now it's starting to come to realization. All the manipulation, all the crazy stuff they've been doing is starting to come unwound. Can the stock market continue to go up? Of course it can, because it's the last manipulated thing. Now, Mike Maloney with Gold Silver, great guy to follow if you want to stay up on this stuff, because he does a lot of reports and so forth. This is back in 2005. So he was predicting the 2008 crash in 2005. So he was well ahead of the game. Now he's been for over a year, maybe 2 years now, I've been following him. He's been predicting the coming crash, right? So about the same time frame. Now he goes on and talks about it. So let's listen a little bit.
Where mortgage debt is. Do we have a housing bubble? No, we've got a hyper bubble. This is the insider.
So we have a hyper bubble in housing that has never, ever, ever been seen before. I was saying back in 2022 that this thing is unwinding now. They pumped it back up. And some people got out back then, but this market's been pumped up. Now I look at the real estate around here, and real estate is dropping massively in here in Nevada, and I know it's dropping massively in Florida where I was. It's dropping everywhere. California, Texas, you name the big places that really boomed, and all of them are having pretty significant pullbacks in real estate at this point. It's just getting started. There's been a slaughter, absolute slaughter in commercial real estate. It's unbelievable what's happening in commercial real estate. So you're having one bubble that's already basically the air's coming out of it. That's commercial real estate. Residential real estate, the bubbles being popped on that. Air's coming out of that right now. And now we're looking at the stock market. So the stock market, as you guys are going to see, is really, really, really going to get slaughtered. So here we are.
Banks have been covering this up. Commercial real estate is headed for a meltdown on a scale that we have never seen. This is going to be just like the global financial crisis of 2008, with real estate in the biggest bubble in history, bigger than then, plus commercial real estate, plus the stock markets. That didn't happen in 2008. That was residential real estate and mortgage-backed securities and derivatives meltdown. This is a far greater disaster. It turns out the freight index. Now,
all right. So throughout time, guys, the freight index is the thing you watch. So I've been watching that. As you guys can see, back in 2008-9, you see how the freight. So freight basically is around the world. They ship product. So products produced and people want the product. And so there's freights, shipping that brings the product to people that want to buy it. Look at how it's going down. So every time that we've had a major crash, and you could go back even further, you go back into 2000, you can see same thing with the freight, but they have it. He has it because he predicted this coming in 2008, 2009 crash. So he's showing, that he was these are the things that he was showing back then, and it's the same thing that's happening again that caused the crash in 2009, but more, because we have not only residential real estate, which caused the 2008, 2009 crash, but we also have commercial real estate, which is far bigger, and we have the stock market, which is going to crash. I've been saying this for a long time, and I know you guys get tired of hearing it, but just like I said, hey, get into silver. Now, you guys have got in silver way back, or like loving me right now, and I appreciate the love. Thank you. But you're going to love me even more if you get into silver and stay in silver, right? Because it's going to go ridiculously high, right? It's never before seen, prices in silver, because the last two times it went up during the Hunt brothers, manipulation, it came down really fast because they came in and said, no, the government said, no, we're the only ones that manipulate and control this market, right? So now we're seeing how the U.S. government is the only one that manipulated and control this market, because we had the 2008, 2009 crash, and then they came in and manipulated the market and drove it back up again. And then we had, as you see here in 2020, we had the COVID crash, right? And then they manipulated the market and went back up. And now you're seeing the freight index, which is basically telegraphing that it's over. It's over. No one's buying. And when no one's buying in the economy grinds to a stop, and the stock market goes bye-bye, right? So these are some of the things we're seeing. Some other things
are skyrocketing from Darth Powell, and they are. Look at that.
So here we're seeing late rent payments on a level that's never been seen before, right? So it's car payments. Basically, it's not stopping paying their car payments. Never been seen before numbers. Credit card debt, never before seen credit card levels, debt. So all of these things are conspiring to have the most ultimate stock market crash in the history of stock markets, right?
Trajectory here. And this is, all in 2025, this turnaround. It was falling on the average, and then suddenly.
So this year, everybody's, coming into this year, everybody's like, oh, everything's hunky dory. But those of us who've been watching this stuff in the background have been saying, no, this is not good. Now, here is the S&P 500. As you guys can see, during the dot-com crash, it went to extraordinarily stupid levels. And then it crashed massively. And it didn't recover. I don't think the NASDAQ recovered for like 10 years or something crazy. Really, in the last, over the last 5 years or so is when it really recovered. And now it's bubbled out again. All right, so this is the S&P. As you guys can see, there's like this trend. Here's the 2008, 2009 crash, as you can see right there. Then they pumped it back up again, and there's the COVID crash. Here's 2022, where I said we're crashing, and then they stopped it and pumped it back up again, right? So here we are. Every time it hits this high, pullback. Hits the high. Okay, it stayed high for a long time and then pulled back. Could we be seeing that again? Possibly, but we're breaking above that. We're in .com. So this is the AI .com bubble that we're seeing right now. So do we still have time for this thing to run? I think so. We're going to get a pullback. Possibly. Like I said, I think it's going to pull back up to 30%, and then it'll take off and go to new all-time highs. Maybe it doesn't even pull back. It just keeps on going, and it blows up, and then on a level that's, again, that's not been seen before.
This divergence.
Okay, this is a big tell here as well. Now, this is the divergence this is unemployment, the yellow line. As you can see, as things were doing well, the S&P 500 did well. And then when they didn't do well, when people started losing their jobs and work, the S&P 500 went down. Same thing back in COVID. The S&P 500 crashed, as did jobs, of course, because everybody was stuck inside. And then everybody came out and started partying and drove the stock market up. And here is the divergence. We have unemployment really taken off to the downside, yet the S&P 500 continues to go up. This cannot sustain, right? Here's also a chart of the laid on top of each other. This is the .com explosion upwards, and here's AI, all right? So AI looks like we still have a little room to run, like I've been saying. Is there going to be a pullback? I don't know. We might get a little pullback. As you see here, there's some pullbacks. This is what I'm looking at. I haven't looked at this chart, but I think there's going to be some pullbacks. But whether that happens or not remains to be seen. But maybe a double dip here in October is normally the time where this happens. And it looks like maybe December timeframe, this happened, and then it just went up. It did a double top, and then it crashed, came up, did another double top, and then it went down, down, down for a long time, right? We're going to see, this is going to be a joke compared to what we're going to see in the future, guys. Absolute joke. 1929, it's going to be like a yawn. It's like not even close, right? So we have a triple problem, like I said. And there's probably a lot more out there that we're not covering here, but massive, massive problems. All right, he goes into a lot more stuff. Let me show this. This, again, this is transportation. So I showed you the shipping transportation is going down. And the same thing is happening here in the United States. you have the industrials, the Dow, 30, that are going up to the moon, like hitting maybe an all-time top, like we saw back in, what was that? I guess December of last year. Then it came down. Now we're seeing a divergence again in another industry. The Dow Industrials are like, yeah, everybody's buying, but no, they're not, because the transports are not transporting anything on that level. So you see how this works. When nothing's being transported, the Dow comes down. When things are being transported, the Dow goes up. Or the Dow goes up and things are being transported, and everybody's like, okay, we're making money. Right now, the Dow is just getting pumped up, guys. So the transports are telegraphing there's a problem. And it doesn't seem like the industrials are listening, or they're getting massively pumped up, like we're talking about. Now, this is also an indicator, of course, privately owned housing and construction. So this is another indicator that the housing is getting ready to go down, because we're seeing houses under construction. That's the blue line. As you can see, it is going down. Every time it goes down, then the employment goes down, because if no one's buying, then they're not going to make the houses, right? So you saw here in 2001 how it crashed, and then everybody came back out and was like, I'm moving to California, or I'm leaving California, going to Florida, like I did, or Texas, or Tennessee, or wherever people went to escape from the COVID nonsense that New York and California did, right? So now we're seeing the construction is turning down, and the employment is starting to roll over, and that's going to be another indicator. So all these different indicators are happening on a massive level. Here's another one. Condo prices. So condo prices usually get hit first. So in Oakland, California, as you guys can see, 25 biggest cities with price declines, 27% price decline in Oakland, 27 in Cape Coral, Florida, Austin, St. Petersburg, Fort Myers, Sarasota, Florida, San Francisco, on and on and on. Down in Reno, 13% declines in rental or condo prices, whatever. And if we push this over just a little bit more, we're going to see more. We're going to see all the way down into Garland, Texas, 12%. So all these different places: New Orleans, Seattle, Aurora, Colorado. Colorado is really getting destroyed in the commercial real estate. Really getting hit on the chin really hard, right? So you guys like that snow behind me? It's it's supposed to get a lot of snow over the next few days. So lots of problems, as you guys can see, in economy. If we look at what happens when the economy crashes, when things go bad, they're going to go bad on a level that's never been seen before, guys, around the world. This is coming because the supremacy of the dollar is basically deteriorating. There's more people that are moving into more countries are moving into gold than they're moving into U.S. Treasuries. The United States on a credit rating has had like 5 different downgrades over the last several years. That's not very good for credit worthiness of the dollar, when the country that is the leading holder of the dollar has like massive debt. I think we're increasing by $1 trillion every 5 months, another $1 trillion in debt. That debt can't sustain itself, and usually when you have a debt bubble like that as well, you have a massive crash. So all of these different things that are conspiring to really hammer everything that normally people invest in, the stock market, housing, businesses, and so forth. Everything is taking a hit. The one thing, well, two things, well, three things really. Platinum is up. I got some platinum. Silver is up. Industrial metal. Never before in history has a precious metal been used on the level that silver is being used as. And on top of that, it is a harbinger and basically a place where people go run to for to protect their money, right? So not only a long-term throughout time money protector. At one point, silver was the top. It wasn't gold. You go back to the times of like when the Persians, Iran invaded Greece, right? All the way back then, 2,500 years ago. Silver was king, right? So fortunately, the Greeks had great silver mines, and they were able to build a great fleet and build a great army, which basically resisted the greatest army in the history at that time, stopped them out, and defeated them, sent them home running, right? So will you have silver so that you can be like the Greeks of old and defeat the ravages that are coming? I hope you do, right? I hope I've been giving you enough information. Again, kepm.com, great source for either buying metal to be shipped to your garage or having it, stored. If you have IRA or retirement plans, you have to store it in a vault. So a lot of you guys, you're going to get everything wiped out in the stock market, right? Like I'm showing you guys, we may have a little bit more run, but do you want to be like Warren Buffett, who is basically almost on the highest level of cash in history for Berkshire Hathaway? I think it's like over 30%, right? He's never been that much in cash. So that's kind of like, hello, things are not so good out there that he wants to invest in them. He wants to have a lot of cash ready to buy stuff that's going to be very, very good in the future. Now he has been investing in a gold fund. So he's putting a lot of his investment into a gold fund. So obviously he's telegraphing multiple things there. He's telegraphing that he's getting out of the stock market, which he sees is probably going to crash. Every time he's done that, every time he's gone mostly to cash, the stock market crashed, right? So, I mean, a lot of people look at the stock market, oh, the stock market's up, we're good, right? It shouldn't be up, guys. And we're not good. As I've been showing you guys, we're not good anywhere, right? So will the stock market, will they pump this thing up, manipulate this thing higher? I think it's very possible, very probable. We haven't potentially seen the high, but we could have. Things could turn around on a dime. President Trump could pull the plug on these people, right? Or maybe he's involved too. I don't know, right? So one day he's like, we're going to hammer China. And then Sunday he's like, it'll work out. It's going to be good. And the stock market's back up again, right? Seems like a little manipulation going on there to me, but hey, I still love the guy. I still think he's our best savior from this crazy thing. Maybe he's basically telegraphing to us that we need to get more involved. We need to buy more silver. Right? So, all right, guys. Now he's a crypto guy. I'm not a crypto guy. I don't think crypto is going to be the future. But maybe these guys are going to manipulate that into something just like they manipulate the stock market. I don't know. But throughout history, it's always been precious metals, guys. And it is right now. Will it be going forward? I'm pretty sure it will be. So whether you're invested in silver and gold, silver's the best right now, obviously, or percentage-wise, or are you invested in crypto? Every time the stock market takes a the NASDAQ takes a dive, crypto goes along with it every time on a massive scale. We saw an amazing pullback in XRP. And a lot of people are like, XRP. Well, it's good when XRP wasn't being manipulated, right? So obviously what we saw on Friday was massive manipulation in XRP. It looked to me like we're going to just wipe it out. At one point, it was crashing so fast and so hard. I was like, dang, that thing's going to go to zero. And it stopped out at like ridiculously low amount. And then people came in and started buying it. So they probably got a lot of not very savvy investors, wiped them out, and then they took advantage of it, right? So again, I watch everything. I trust people as long as they prove their trust, but you got to like watch everything, guys. Why did Trump do that on Friday? Why did he do that? Was that for our better good? I wasn't affected by it, but I know a lot of people were. And I know some businesses got wiped out. So obviously, guys don't want to hear this because you're like, I see the numbers starting to decrease. Trump is sacrosanct. But you know that Trump just said that they asked him before he flew to Israel to say, do you think you're going to heaven? He's like, probably not. Right. So what is he got going on? But that's a lot of people say that are very religious, right? And they'll say, who am I? I'm a sin. I've sinned. Everybody sinned, of course. But he said it. I mean, you ask me, I'm like, I'm in heaven now. Look at that whiteness. I'm in the clouds now, baby. I got my wings on. I'm flying around. So I'm always in heaven. Why would I be anywhere else? Right? When I go bye-bye, I'm just going into another aspect of heaven to me. All right. So lots of love, guys. Stay in the love vibration. It's going to get really hectic out there. I know I say that at every show, but it does, doesn't it? All right.